All right, this video is going to be a bit of a rant. If you hear any wind, I apologize. It's crazy windy and cold this weekend, and I got the fire going, so you might hear some crackling as well. I want to burst some people's bubble here. I don't think people understand what reliability means nowadays. There are no reliable cars anymore comparatively to the cars of the early 2000s and the 90s. They do not compare. They can't hold a candle. I don't care what car you have. Now, there are more reliable cars than others, obviously, nowadays. In 2024, without a doubt. Toyota, they're going to be at the top. Toyota makes the most reliable car. Now, that doesn't mean they're in the stratosphere and everybody else is garbage. No, actually, they're all pretty much garbage nowadays. It's just Toyota's the top, least smelling garbage. And then Honda's just right below it, right? And then, right below it, maybe you got, I don't know, Hyundai or Kia or something, or another Japanese maker. And then you got Chevy and then whatever, right? They're all pretty much, if you go watch any of the videos where they talk about how much it costs to maintain a car, cars that were produced in the last 10 years, they all cost a fortune to maintain. And Toyota might be the least amount per visit. If you look it up, could be like $575, and the next one's $600, and the next one's $625, and the next one, it truly is like that. It is not every time you have to go to a mechanic for a Toyota, it's $200, and the next one down is $650. It's not like that. They all are terrible, and the reason is very simple. They're just too complicated now. They're too complicated. The cars have too many features. Why do they have too many features? Because they need that stock price to go up. They gotta charge more for cars. The only way to charge more for cars is to have more complicated features. That's it. They need that stock price to go up. They have so much technical debt on cars in 2024. It's crazy. They don't fix the problems that they had in the last one. They just changed the entire system. This is what ends up happening, is that they'll have an engine maybe that had a problem, or they'll have a transmission that had a problem, or they'll had some sort of killer problem. They won't fix that, right? They won't keep everything else the same. Toyota did do this for a while, like the Land Cruiser, right? They just made it better and better and better. Well, now they just cut bait because they couldn't sell them because they're too expensive, and now they're making a $50,000 one. But we're going to talk about Land Cruiser in a video in the future. That's a car that I really love, but there's problems with it. So I'm going to go into that. But they just get rid of that thing. They say, okay, we got to put out a new model, completely new, because we got to get people to buy these cars. If we put out the same thing and just fix the problems that we have, who's going to buy it, right? Who's going to buy it? Well, I think we're turning a corner on that nonsense. I really believe we are. People are getting sick of the high prices for cars and the terrible reliability compared to what it used to be. Just in the recent past, I'm not talking 50 years ago, I'm talking 20 years ago. I'm talking 20 years ago or less, there were 3 times as reliable cars as there are right now. And people are getting sick of paying the real money too. If they had to pay a really expensive price for a vehicle, but the thing lasted a long time, I wouldn't care. And I bet you a lot of other people wouldn't care. But what's happening is they don't last. They're very expensive to buy, very expensive to maintain. Parts are very difficult to get. And now we're starting to see these very cheap cars come out that they can't register. Like, for instance, those mini trucks that are impossible to register. You need a freaking LLC in Montana to register this stupid thing, right? You can't register these cars, and they cost almost nothing, and they're easy to fix, and they go forever, and they're totally roadworthy, but You can't buy them. Well, you can buy them, but you can't register them, so you can't drive them around. And 5 years ago, when those mini trucks, you started to see them a little bit, people didn't care that much, but they're starting to care now because the prices on vehicles are out of control, right? In the past, say, 3 years, what's happened? A 20% increase, 30% increase, gouging, right? Gouging at the dealerships. You're starting to see some cracks. We're starting to see some cracks, and with the exception of, say, admissions, which is going to be an issue from now on probably, I think we might start seeing it, and I think you can see that with the Land Cruiser, and I think there's another really cheap truck that somebody's putting out. It may be Toyota or it's Honda, or a $20,000 baseline truck. You're going to start seeing some absolutely super, super cheap, bare bones vehicles coming out, and they're going to see how they do. You know, where like AC is not standard. You're going to see that, and there's going to be a lot of people that buy them, I think, because they're sick of these. They're sick of the unreliability and the expensive prices, the expensive maintaining of the price, the complicated. You can't fix stuff on your own. That's horrible. Okay. You cannot compare the vehicles nowadays to the vehicles from 20 years ago. Another thing, I don't want to hear about your reliable vehicle that has 50,000 miles on it. Okay, I don't want to hear about it. I don't care. Okay, a vehicle with 50,000 miles on it should be mint. You should never have a problem with a vehicle with 50K on it. You shouldn't have a problem with a vehicle with 75K. The way companies work, this is how these automakers work. Okay, I'm going to give you a tip. Is that first thing is that if they give you a warranty, whatever that warranty, obviously they're going to give you a warranty. Whatever the warranty says is how long you will be good. It's an absolute guarantee. Okay, usually you're looking at a lot of the U.S. is 3660, right? Well, double that. Double that, and that's where your problems start. Okay, 36, bumper to bumper, you're going to get 70 to 75 before problems start. Drivetrain, you're looking at 120. That's where your problems start. You double the number. If you want a reliable car, you look for a long warranty. I don't know, do you remember, maybe you remember this, maybe you don't, but I think it was late 90s where I think Hyundai was the first one to come out with a 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Check me in the comments on that. I remember seeing it. I remember seeing the ads on TV. If they got a 100,000 mile warranty drivetrain, that thing is good till 200,000. That's how confident. They're not going to give a 100,000 mile warranty and they know that the engine's really got problems at 110. That's not how it works. They are extremely confident in that engine. If they say it's for 100,000, man, that thing is incredible. So you got to look at the warranties. Look what they're giving for warranties. That's how you know. Now, I don't know what Toyota's warranty is. It's got to be better than U.S. manufacturers, no doubt about it, right? Toyota, we know Toyota, Honda are the top of the line. But again, don't start glorifying these Toyotas. You can, do not do it. You can kneel at the altar of these Toyotas all you want, but if you got 45,000 miles on your car, do me a favor, shut up, talk to me when you got 100K. Okay, I don't want to hear from you, and I want you to give me the list of your maintenance bills when you have to change that heater core for $1,200. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. These new cars, they suck. Okay, that's it. That's my rant. We're gonna start the next one, but there's still going to be some ranting. But I wanted to get this out of the way right now, because what's going to happen is that in the next video, when you see me talking about what reliability really is, I don't want to hear from somebody in the comments about their new car. Okay, it means nothing to me. You cannot trust a new car. Every new car should be good. I got a Ram. It's got just about 30,000 miles on it. No issues. No issues. And I use this thing. I take it to the job site. I take it into the woods. I take it fishing. I'm off-road with it. There's no doubt about it. I use this thing big time. And there's been no problems. Why? Because there shouldn't be any problems. It's a brand new freaking car. It's got 30,000 miles on it. You should be able to kick this thing's ass. So that's where we're at with new cars. I believe they all suck. There are different levels of suck, right? Unless you get rid of them at 50,000. Unless you get rid of them before the warranty is up. That's the only thing a new car is good for, as far as I'm concerned. You can drive a brand new car, every single year if you want. You'll never have problems. You shouldn't have problems. If you got problems, like Jeep has problems right now. Jeep has got major, major problems. These new cars, they're not good. And I love Jeep. I have owned, I've owned a Commander, and I owned the one after the disaster Commander. I think the first year was a disaster. I think I owned it 2008. Loved it. Drove it 100,000 miles. Just loved driving the car. Got rid of it. It never had a problem, obviously. I had a Cherokee Sport. Drove that around like crazy with the 4.0. We know how reliable the 4.0 was. I had a Wrangler, an 87 Wrangler. I had a Rubicon, 4.0 Rubicon, a 2007. My wife's got a Grand Cherokee that has a dead battery in their driveway right now. But it's still the original battery from 2016. So it's a 7-year-old battery, or 7 or 8, and it just went because of the 0-degree weather we have here. My brother had the same Grand Cherokee. He drove the thing 140,000 miles and then traded it in. Jeeps, they used to be good. There's a major problem with them right now. They're just too damn complicated. That's it. All right, next video, we're going to talk about what I think reliability is. I'm going to give you my definition of reliability, because it's not just the car doesn't break. Because every car breaks. Every car breaks. I don't want you to think that I'm saying the cars from the early 2000s and the 90s never broke. They broke. They just broke in different ways than the new cars do. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.